Well, good evening. Welcome to Common Good Books. We're so glad you're here. We're just thrilled to have with us tonight Sue Smallen and Tom Hennon. I've been carrying around Tom's book since June in my bag and having a few moments with each poem each day. And I can't wait to get started on the newly expanded edition of Buddha Proof. So if you think you know Buddha Proof, you just wait. She has more adventures yet. Following the reading tonight, Tom and Sue will be glad to answer questions and sign books for you right up here at the podium. So please do come to the counter and grab your books if you haven't yet. Other than that, I'll get out of the way. Please join me in welcoming our first reader, Sue Smallen.
Is this good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, okay. So some of you have been wondering how I got so lucky to read with Tom. And so we're going to tell you, about a year ago, I moved with my dog Coco to a new neighborhood, and it wasn't very long before we met Theo. Let's see. Yes. And Coco loves Theo. Can you see that? Isn't Theo cute? So every time Coco sees Theo, she has a very special vocalization which translates something like, Mom, it's Theo, hurry up, hurry, let me outside, it's Theo. And so, luckily for Coco, the feeling is mutual. Theo also loves Coco. So, every once in a while, Theo gets walked by his grandpa, that's Tom. And so that's how I knew Tom for a while, just as Theo's grandpa. And we talked like dog people do while their dogs are cavorting. And it wasn't until one beautiful summer morning when Saturday dance class was canceled that I was sitting out and Tom and Theo walked by, and so we sat down for a while and we started chatting. And little bit by little bit, we found out we had lots more in common than we knew. And so I was delighted to discover that Theo's grandpa is Tom Hennon. So that's how we are here tonight, thanks to our two pooches. You can come and look at the photos later up close, because they're so cute. So tonight is the debut of the new edition of Buddha Proof. So you may know that the original edition was up for the Minnesota Book Award, and then it went out of print. And then Scott King asked me one day, do you have more Buddha poems? And I said, no. And then I thought about it, and I wrote him back and said, yes, and started writing. So the new edition has twice as many poems as the old one, and Scott designed it very beautifully. So I'm going to read mostly new poems, but I have to start with Buddha Barbie by request. Buddha takes aerobics class from Barbie and hates it. He has trouble straightening his legs. He does not like feeling his bones jostling. He even grows to dislike Barbie herself, only during class. Her cheery stamina and the way nothing of hers jostles, just her hair. Buddha prefers his suffering to be the mental kind. Barbie takes meditation class from Buddha. First, she cannot sit in lotus position. She cannot breathe from her, I don't have a diaphragm. She knows everyone is staring at her. Buddha says suffering is the key. They think with all those accessories, she has not suffered. Well, have you ever tried to open a snap as big as your hand? Caught in rush hour after classes, Buddha and Barbie are idling side by chance. Buddha, going east, admires Barbie's snap purse on the dash. What's it like to have accessories. Barbie, going west, admires Buddha's tummy spilling around the steering wheel. What's it like to be tender? The din of traffic simulates a vow of silence. They start up again, about to pass when they bash fenders. Barbie's in a state, her car is dented. Oh, my hand, damn it. Buddha says, all is one. Buddha says, empty yourself of concept. Buddha is speaking aloud to himself. He is feeling his bones jostled. Barbie freaks out. I'm nothing but concept. Buddha says, I will give you my car if you give me your purse. Barbie, he's got to be kidding, figures hand would be less upset about the purse than the car. So Barbie gives Buddha the purse and drives away in Buddha's car. Buddha smiles, sits on the shoulder in the grass and wildflowers with the purse in his lap, snapping and unsnapping. All is one. He puts a blade of grass in the purse. Empty yourself of concept. He takes out the blade of grass. Buddha picnic. Buddha is breathing into his left prefrontal cortex. In order to do this, Buddha breathes into the highest region of his left upper lung. In order to do this, Buddha breathes down to the bottom of his bowl, the pelvis. In the bowl are seeds from the Bodhi tree, under which Siddhartha sat and became himself the enlightened one, enlightened in the shade of a tree. The tree showed Siddhartha its shadows and enveloped him in them. Yet the tree remained a column of light, a solar processing center. Siddhartha was and was not Siddhartha in the shadows. The was not Siddhartha was free to come and go, while Siddhartha sat, liberated by being, not being. So liberated, Siddhartha himself became a solar processing center, a tree, not tree, nurturing the world, holding a place for Siddhartha. So he came to love the world. So loving the world, Buddha incubates the seeds with breath so that they root in his pelvic bowl, reach up through his left upper lung into his left prefrontal cortex and sprout dendritic branches, landscaping the Buddha mind with more neuronal trees, more spaces under the trees, more shadows, more not shadows, in which we may spread our blankets and sit, eating and laughing until we are so full, we are empty. Buddha MVP. Everything about baseball is pleasant. How it sounds over the radio, filling the kitchen with chatter and cheer. In the stands, banter, sun, organ stepping up the call, and the vendors sing-song yelp. Even better, Buddha thinks, to play ball with a perfect, fragrant glove, with his name swinging across his back, on the sun-drenched diamond, infield, outfield, and most of all, batter up, squaring up in the batter's box, watching the ball meet his bat, ka! Home run every time. Buddha, Vegas. Someone gave Buddha a $10 player's card for the slot machine. He slipped the card into the slot and pressed the button called How to Play. The display animated complex graphs that looked like metro maps with clear lines of travel from poor to rich, but nothing exactly about how to play. Over Buddha's right, a cocktail waitress leaned in. Do you need anything, honey? At his left, a custodian appeared to help press the mysterious buttons. For a moment, among ringing, whirring, jingling in the dark red haze, the machine's glow and flash lit this trinity of attention, karma, and resilience, before the waitress and the custodian left Buddha, nodding in great understanding with this translation: play what you're dealt until the balance is 0. Then hit payout. so he did. Buddha roller coaster. Buddha rides roller coasters mindfully, joyfully, for the sensation of each moment. When Buddha's car inches over the first crest and tips down the deep drop, Buddha does not drop in mind before in body, but relishes each tick of gravity and no gravity. Playing in the momentum path is like reliving past lives as birds, fish, and fast animals, instantly tuned by gyroscopic bones and gut intelligence, and tuned by laughing the entire time and a good time after that. Buddha, Mrs. Siddhartha. Barbie has a question. Whatever happened to Mrs. Siddhartha and Siddhartha Jr.? The question makes Barbie restive. It makes her doubt if she can trust Buddha on this point of suffering and freedom from suffering. He did, after all, leave Mrs. Siddhartha by slipping out the back door one night. No word, no note, just blew out the candle of everything she knew about her life, except she had the boy. Did Mrs. Siddhartha sing to her son so he could sleep through the nights? What ever happened to them? This one is for Jude. Buddha. Buddha watches a documentary of himself for the first time. Everyone else in the film is exactly as they are. But this one, called Buddha, Buddha has never seen, never heard. Buddha, Big Sur. In this place that is now, in this time that is here, at this gateless gate, this atom smasher, Buddha is a lens on the cliffs of Big Sur, facing west, almost east again. One with bony earth, one with dashing sky, one with booming ocean, such like. Swelling, rolling, tons of greens and blues, cliff rock already ocean, ocean already field. In this place that is now, in this time that is here, at this gateless gate, this atom smasher, Buddha is a lens, Buddha prisms, west, east, cliff, ocean, within, beyond, body, not body, quake, accelerate, smash, quarks, fall rising as mist, up, down, bottom, top, charm, strange, misting onto, into, out of Buddha, in this place that is now, in this time that is here, cliff rock already ocean, ocean already field. Buddha, toast. If Buddha had a favorite appliance, it would be the toaster. Buddha puts his slice in the slot marked single. He presses the lever down with mindful anticipation. The toaster makes toast, and in the other slot, the one that is not labeled, the toaster makes not toast. A complete meal, most satisfying. Buddha, Target. Maybe it was better in the days when people provided Buddha with the necessities of living. For although he likes to go to Target because it is easy to attain empty mind there, it's also easy to come out with more than one came for, and then these two become necessities. Now what will Buddha do without $5.99 flip-flops, combed cotton towels that match, glucosamine sulfate, a Swiss Army keychain with tiny folding scissors? Or Midge, friend of Barbie? It says so on the box. Buddha, Facebook. It's like meditation turned inside out. Sitting down to be with random thoughts and images, scrolling, shout-outs for joy and sorrow, injustice and comfort, with little ads for distraction, a transcript of the meditation hall. Buddha likes Facebook, has friended everyone, likes to like everything except when like is not the right expression. Buddha wants instead to click on a heart icon or an empty bowl. Buddha altar. Barbie finds herself on an altar to Buddha. Ever since she acted all the leads in Sybil while the all-moving hand read aloud, she has been worried about herself. She, too, has long periods of her life she cannot account for. She, too, finds herself suddenly in the midst of a situation with no recollection of getting there. Like now, for instance. Her head feels strange, so light, a chill on her neck. She looks out of the corner of her eye by habit. Her hair is gone. Buddha is glad to see her, for he has seen her smile in her suffering. He sees her smiling even now. Buddha butterfly. Buddha was walking in wild rain, noting the brilliance of wedded things, when in a petal he saw a monarch butterfly outstretched and drenched. Buddha paused to consider beautiful death. But the butterfly was still alive with no hope for swimming much longer and took the Buddha's finger in refuge. Buddha lifted the monarch, tucked it in the nook of his topknot, and replaced his rain hat. In the pelting wet, Buddha danced as if he were a storm-proof butterfly, which he was. Buddha hummed wing-warming words, and every being, winged or not winged, became aware of something. Buddha Cheerios. Buddha opens the yellow bright box. A little girl is eating Cheerios with her dad. Cheer is the sound the cardinal makes. O is Daddy's mouth when he makes his funny face, the one he's made for her ever since, he likes to say, she surprised him that winter day by being born. A little boy is sinking Cheerios, which he never had before, in a neighbor's kitchen. That morning, his dog was hit by a car and died. But not until after, the little boy fell through his dog's eyes into a dark tunnel, calling her name. One neighbor took her away. Another made him go to her house, where his dog is called just a dog. He knows from old movies on TV what Cheerio means. It's what a man says when he goes off to war and will never see his family ever again, pretending to be happy so he won't cry. But the boy can't be a man, sitting alone with milky goodbyes. Buddha tips the yellow bright box. Small wheels of joy and suffering ring the bowl, nestle in its emptiness. Buddha surfing. Buddha likes surfboarding because you go until you fall, then you go again. And the spider Buddha brushed off didn't even say whoa as it fell. It just lay back riding its wet floor. Buddha jump rope. Buddha sprained his ankle. With all the walking he does, it was no surprise. The physical therapist advised jumping rope. Buddha is contemplating his new teacher, the rope. The rope has revealed to Buddha the depth of his belief in gravity. Each jump is a small death. Many years ago, out the window, Buddha watched a little girl running down the sidewalk. But girl and sidewalk are only labels his mind offered later. What Buddha saw through the open moment was streaming, small body, long hair, ground skimming, ribbon of release. Only the impression of a girl, only running. Buddha bleak moment. When I said in 520 BCE that we should all postpone final nirvana and instead work for the day when all sentient beings reached enlightenment, I had no idea it would take so long. You'd think by now, people would get a clue, but no, still they fight about the same old things and argue and procrastinate and make themselves miserable in their puny perceptions. I just want to say I'm done, okay? I've done it. Can we move on? But if I don't work for the enlightenment of all beings anymore, then what will I do? Bookkeeper, 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 bricklayer, bricklayer, brokerage cashier, building inspector, darn. Grad school? In what? What could I possibly learn? Except marketing. Well, maybe I'll give it another year. Keep my eyes open. Right foot now. Left foot now. Right foot now. Left foot now. Buddha, release. Buddha is crying, not the traditional tear of compassion, but racking, screaming, thrashing cries. His palms ache as the wheels fly open, fall off the track, falling, speeding. The wheels speed through his senses like a Eurostar train. Buddha is suffering, not the traditional wail of distress, but racking, screaming, thrashing cries. He is breaking up with the world again. The muscles of the entire world contract, release. She develops curves in her axis so that she may support the swaying weights of all those souls. Buddha camping. Buddha forgot and left his trail mix in his pack instead of putting it in the bear bag overnight. In the small dark hours, Buddha wakes to something loud, something enormous, something in the tent. Something that sounds like sunflower seeds. Buddha fumbles for his headlamp, unzips his pack, spotlights a mouse gripping a tattered ziplock of bounty, a miniature Buddha, before they both jump, and the mouse runs laps around the ceiling, while Buddha giggles like boys at a sleepover for the fear they share. Buddha makes a path, opens the door. And with that, I'll turn it over to Tom.